Hey everyone, it's Judy. Welcome back to Rose Lane. My goodness, it's been a long, 3 months about, or more maybe. Middle of May to June to July to August. Gosh, it's probably heading for closer to 4 months, it seems, I think maybe. I don't know. But in any case, it's good to be back. I am working on anything. I'm just trying to get my creative juices flowing again. I've been away too long, and there's been so much that's been going on with this move. It's been very eventful. I can tell you a little bit, and not necessarily chronologically, but there's a whole bunch to catch up on with you guys. But for right now, what I want to do is, some of you may have seen this tag that I put up in some of the Facebook groups. Some people thought it was a either a journal page or a cover to a journal, but that's only because I had a very close-up shot of it and I had nothing to scale. So, but it really is just a little tag. It's 6.5 inches by 3.5, 3 3/4 with the lace hanging out over here a little bit, and it's another hidden journaling space tag. So let me show you what that is. And we're going to make another one like this, but I'm also putting together another one that was a different, like a different variety, a different, type of the same thing. So we'll put that one together just to show you something else that can be done. And then we're going to put another one together like this. Hopefully I'll get this all done in one video and it won't be too terribly long. So this is the tag, and what makes it a hidden tag is there's a card that comes out, and you can journal on the back of the card, and you can also journal under here. These papers all have come from the same place for each one of these. I'm just making sure, I think, for each one of these tags, they've pretty much come from the same place. So all the bird cards have come from Ruby and Pearlxo. And they are her Beautiful Birds collection. These gold colored papers like this, okay, like this and this, came from the Paper Cameo, and this is her Autumn Gold collection. And then the strips that I'm using, like these and these are the new washi tape collections from Chapter 1 papers. So that kind of gives you an idea of where that is. I've got this lace happened to have been a Plum Boutique. This was a light blue ribbon that I had gotten from somebody. It's like a seam binding, but it's a narrow seam binding. And I re-dyed it to match the colors on this card. And then I dyed this lace to match the other card that we're going to do. So this just slides back in and it hides the journaling spot underneath. It looks like one card. But we're not done. When you flip it over, you have what looks like an envelope on the back, but it's not actually an envelope. It's an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. Is it all in there? I don't think it's mostly all in there. So you've got all of this space to journal on, and when you flip it over, you can journal however you would want on the edges, but I kind of envision going around, sort of like a square spiral. Does that make sense? You go around like that. And you can journal on that stuff as well, that part as well. And then you just fold it in like so, like so. You fold in those little ends and tuck it in on itself. And it closes right back up again. And it's not all that fat. It's pretty thin, actually. So we're going to make one like this. Not the same colors, but same idea. But right now we're going to put together another variation. That was the word, not variety, variation. So this is what we're going to do with this one. This is, what I did here was just a base card, okay? This was just a base card that I made, plain paper on it, and then made all the embellishments to go around to hold the other card in place. So what I did here, this is not a base card. This is actually an envelope. Okay, this is an envelope like this, just a plain old white envelope. These happen to be security envelopes. And I just covered it with the paper. I lined it with paper, and then I made a mistake. So let me explain to you what that is. I put a belly band on the back. I cut a hole in here. This was supposed to be a die cut, but I couldn't find all my plates yet. I'm still trying to unpack all my stuff. You'd think I would have gotten somewhere, but I didn't. This is a piece of really like a vinyl-y plastic because I didn't want anything shiny, but I couldn't find my tracing paper. So I had to use that. So I made another card that I put in on the back. And essentially this is an envelope. So what I did, I realized after I put the belly band on that as I was going to put the belly band on, that the flap of the envelope would be too deep, and it was thick, so it wouldn't flex well to get in and out. So I cut it off, and then I just added this lace. I think I did it a little crooked, but handmade. So you have then this, and what's going to go in here is nothing more than I took another sheet of paper. It's just tea dyed, and I think you can see that I gilded the edges of that. So that's just going to get folded, and it's going to go in here. And when I dyed this, I don't know how well. Oh, I think you can see it. I don't know what I used. I think I had beet juice in here. I don't know. And you know, sometimes it just depends on the paper. When it dried, I didn't see those bluish splotches that are on it. I didn't see them until the paper dried, and it showed up. It showed up like that. So I thought with this it would look really pretty. So I just gilded the edges, both sides, and then left it plain otherwise. So we're going to just fold that up. So this gives you an entire 2 sides of an 8.5 by 11 paper that will go in this envelope. I'm just going to put this over to the side for right now. And that'll go in here, okay? And then the flap closes over, and the card goes back in the belly band like so. And then now we'll decorate the front. So what we want to do, here's the card that I made, and I gilded all the edges of these too. I think you can tell. You can tell that on there. All the edges are done with this folk art. I don't know. My lighting is very bad in here right now. I've got a very like old fluorescent light. We haven't been able to tackle the lighting yet here. So, but this is folk art metallic. It says 660E pure gold metallic finish acrylic paint. I've had it. I think I got it through a thrift store or something, but it was a brand new bottle. So I don't even know if they have, I would assume they have it still, but that's what I was using, and just put it on with a paintbrush, so it was nice and easily done. So what we're gonna do here is I pre-measured this, so this should be okay with putting this down, and this one I cut a little short here, and I'm not worried about that. I just wanna make sure this one actually goes, there is some writing on here, so I wanna make sure that I've got them going in the right direction. I don't know. I think one's going to be upside down. Well, so be it. Okay, so we're going to put these on, and I'm going to put them on so that the card will come to the edge of the paper, and this bit of lace will hang over. Okay, so what I want to do is just kind of line that up with the edges without, oh, this goes this way. Oh, then I am right. That goes that way, this goes this way. I am right, I did it right. What do you know? Okay, so we're gonna line that up there and line that up there, just a rough. And then what I wanna do is just lay the card over it so I can see how much space I have to make sure that I don't bring the glue too far down, okay? For right now, there's a little bit of this hanging off. I'll try to trim that. And that's okay. And I'll trim this one. We'll get rid of that little piece. My desk is a mess. All right, so that's what we're gonna do. And I'm gonna do this with the art glitter glue. And we're going to go ahead and put that down. What I want to do is I'm gluing it across the bottom, but it's going to go this way. So I'm going to glue this side only, okay? Just that side only. And I can actually bring this up, put a considerable amount of glue on it, because I have the space to slide the card in. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to line this up with the edge of the card, and I'm oozing out, but that's all right. Actually, let me bring this over. I want it at the edge of that card. This is going to get covered, so I'm not worried about this being short a little bit. I thought I had done better than that, but I guess I hadn't. All right. So you're going to want that to really sit. Okay. Turn this one around. And this one's going to go this way. Okay. I didn't do a good job trimming there. What did I do with those scissors? Here we go. Put that right there. And this one's going to go this way. So it's this side that's going to be glued down, okay, because we're upside down. So this is the edge that will be glued down and then across the bottom. And technically on this one, I guess it's across the top, right? So we'll put that one there. So I hope everybody has had a good summer. I missed mine again. Well, oh my goodness. I will start with this, that some of you may be aware. A week ago today, this is Saturday, it's late, it's about 9:30 or so at night, right about now. So I'm just doing this video. I'm hoping to actually get it up on my channel before I go to bed. But a week ago today, 1 week ago today, last Saturday, September 3rd, we had to let our sweet little Gussie go. And some of you who have been following me know that he had been ill and he was getting older and he had some arthritis and he had a cancer issue, and yeah, so it was not a good day for me. I cried for 12 hours straight, and that's only because I cried myself to sleep that night, and the wee hours of the morning, actually. And yeah, just broke my heart. But anyway, so we are dogless now, and that doesn't make me happy either. So let me see, I'm going to just take that out of there just so that it doesn't get in the way. But yeah, there's a lot of glue on this, so this is going to take a minute to really set. So, but that's all right. Now I've got this this braiding, and I'm going to put that here, but I'm going to use the 3-in-1, and I'm going to stretch it out. And the reason why I want to stretch it out is so that it's good and snug here, because this too, we're going to be able to glue it completely onto here, but we're only going to glue at the edge here. So we're going to do that now. So anyway, so that being said, now all I have are my birds. I have my 2 cockatiels and my one, cleaning my glue bottle, my one parakeet. So we're going to go ahead and put this on here, perhaps, to clean it out a little better. I had been working down here and I was getting ready to do the video. Actually, I had started it, and my husband came home, and so I had to have dinner. So we're just going to glue right at the edge, right there. And then we'll glue right up here, a goodly wad of glue there. So anyway, we don't want it to go off on here because we want the thing to slide. I'm gonna get, this may shake the camera a little bit, but I want to pull out a few clips because we're gonna want that to really set. In fact, I'll let it sit for a minute and kind of get a little tacky before I put the braiding down. So anyway, yeah, so, but that's that. Our trip has, or our move, I want to get this just off the edge here a little bit. Just a little bit, and that's okay if it moves. Yeah, that's good. All right. So what I'm going to do is I will clip one end right here. I'm trying to be careful not to move it. Well, I'm trying to, guess, really have to get it on, don't I? Me with my depth perception there. So yeah, it's been crazy. We got out of our house a little later on moving day than we had anticipated we might. And when we got down here, it was like midnight. So it was kind of late. And yeah, that looks good. Just a smidge over the edge. It's nice. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and just do that. Put these down so it will lay flatter. And I hope my card will go all the way in, which is this one. So it should be fine. So anyway, that was that. And we got here and found that the house wasn't done the way it should have been done. The repairs had not been done, and the painting had not been done. And yeah, so there was a lot going on there. So I'm just going to put this one to the side for right now. We're going to go back and forth between the two. But we're going to work now, because I want that to set. We're going to work now on showing you how to do the other one, which is really quite simple. Okay, this one will be a little bit easier. So here's our base card, which I already have. This is for the, I'll think of it. This actually covers this. This is going to be going in here, and I think I'm probably going to have to trim this one down a little bit, which is okay. I don't have a problem doing that. So first, let's get this on here. And again, this is from the Paper Cameo Autumn Gold. Beautiful, beautiful kits. Absolutely stunning. So we're going to do that. We'll get this down here. So anyway, we had a lot of stuff that we had to do. We contacted the person who was originally contracted to do the painting by the person we were replacing here. And he told us, and I don't understand why he ever took the job, knowing that we were going to be moving in June, but he told us that he does his summer, his outside work in the summertime, and he was booked 2 years out, and the soonest he could possibly get to us would be the winter months this year, and he was doing us a favor. Okay, so I want to know why he ever bothered to take the job in the first place, knowing that it was supposed to be done before the end of June, before we got here. But nonetheless, we let that painter go, which meant my husband had to paint the house. Now, I say my husband, I always help my husband paint the house, but since this has happened with my eye, I don't do too well. I used to do all the cutting in, and I could do it without taping anything off, which was great. However, I can't do that anymore. Like you saw when I was trying to put the clip on this thing, I was missing it completely because I thought I had it over, you know, one you know, the top over the card and the bottom underneath it, but I didn't. I was not close enough, and I wasn't getting the card. So I don't dare try to do painting anymore. So that's that. Now I've got a little bit here that's hanging over, so I'm just going to trim that. So I find my little scissors. They are here somewhere. There they are. So I'll trim this while we're talking. So anyway, so he had to do that, and there was some other stuff that needed to, there was electrical stuff, there was structural, which wasn't even part of what anybody knew. There was not just a painter hired, but there was a contractor hired who was also hired to, you know, have the job finished before the end of June. Well, this is September 10th, and we still have not seen him. We've spoken to him twice, and every time we speak to him, he tells us it's going to be another 3 weeks. So in the interim, my husband has started to do some of the work that the contractor was hired to do. So I don't know if we're ever going to see the contractor, but eventually some of the house will get done. But all of the, well, what we did do, what my husband has done, was all necessary for us to just even unpack our boxes and put things away. Because like we have thousands, we have over 1,000 books, probably close to 2,000 between us. And we have all these bookcases. Well, we're not going to unpack, you know, 1,500, 2,000 books, whatever it is. We're not going to unpack them just so that somebody can come later and paint, and now we'll have to move all the books out of the bookcases so that we can move the bookcases so they could paint. That's just ridiculous. So, yeah. So that being said, let me just get the edges of this again. So that being said, there was a lot of things that had to be done before we could actually start to unpack our boxes. This house is smaller, and you know, we don't have a say in where we live. These are parsonages that go with our different appointments, our different churches. So it's the house that they have, and it's the house that we will live in. So we're still trying to, you know, maneuver things and try to figure out how we want to make this work. Okay, so I think what I decided on this one, where I had the lace going down the side here and the tape going this way on the card, this, you might see that there's some writing on here. So this was meant to go horizontally. And this is the one I chose for this one, and horizontally doesn't feel right for me. So I'm liking it better on the side. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that on the side, and we're going to put the lace across the bottom on this one. So we're going to need some card, which I've been cutting some things out of card. Let's see. Perfect. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to glue this down. Let me just cut the size I need. I think I like it this way because I like this flower going to the top here. So we're going to go right to about there. I'll cut just a wee bit over so I can trim. And we're going to go ahead and glue this down. Now, like I said, you guys may print directly onto cardstock or heavier weight paper. I print onto copy paper, and then I just use it as I need it. I don't want this stuff to be too bulky, so I chose a thinner weight cardstock that I am gluing things to. And yeah, so I can kind of control the thickness of things by doing that. I'm going to just flip this over so that it's closer to me here, and I can see the edge of the paper better. So I'll just put that right there. So yeah, so we're still unpacking. So that's a lot of fun. Our ministry is a different kind of ministry. This is you know, the regular neighborhood church, but we do a lot of social service through our churches. And so we came with having kids off at camp that we had to bring back and forth, and our camp is 2 hours away from here. So it's 2 hours to bring them on a Monday and 2 hours to go get them on a Friday. And so that's 4 hours total both ways, plus doing the whole dropping them off and picking them up. And so that kind of takes your days. I'm just gonna go. I'm not off. I know I'm not off camera here, so I'm just gonna. I've got this taped down a little bit to help the end that's been curling stay down. So anyway, so there's a lot to do. The holidays are coming up, and so there's a lot to do with that. Of course, most churches have a lot to do as Thanksgiving and Christmas roll around. And my work in my other job was sort of the same all the time. I'll put this up out of the way here. It was sort of the same all the time. It was very repetitious for the most part. I did the same things weekly and some things monthly. And then when the holidays came around, you know, we did whatever we did, you know, for the residents who lived in our facility. And but basically it was the same sort of thing. Every week I ordered food. You know, we had groups and classes in the evenings, and that was always the same. And, you know, it was just kind of very routine and very easy. Here, things are very seasonal. And, you know, when one thing is done, there's another thing that pops up and takes its place. And, I didn't get this end. And, I'm just re-inking so that I get the edge of the cardstock so it's not so modern looking. So, you know, every few weeks, every few months, things change, and then when you're done with that, you put it aside till next year, and then you repeat it a year later at its proper time. So it's a different kind of, I just want to make sure it's still going. It's a different kind of dynamic with that. So, all right, so we're just going to go ahead and do this. Maybe. I know I was getting a little low on this glue, but all right, so we'll go ahead, put our art glitter glue down. I'm going to come just shy of the end here because I believe I'm over by, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or so. But I'll do it here. I'll put it right there. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and line this up at the top. So we're essentially making a pocket is what we're doing, but just with shallow strips rather than a pocket, if you know what I mean. Okay. I'll make sure that's lined up. Okay. All right, so we have that on. I'm going to trim this piece off. And now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this to the side and actually let me do one other thing because I want this stuff to dry while I'm working on the other stuff. I am going to take, okay, we have that. I'm going to take some more paper, and I'm going to go ahead and do this. This is my tag from the paper. And I'm going to make the strips that go top and bottom. Okay, I'm going to do it right out of this. It's going to go sideways. So I want, let's go this way. And I have a pencil. Okay. Come on. Okay, we're going to go right there. Get my little paper cutter, excuse my reach. Okay, we'll slide this right in here. Hopefully this will be sufficient. Put that piece over there. I'm just going to kind of cut that piece away. All right. So that being said, I'm going to just trim this edge a little bit too. So yeah, so we're still unpacking. We're still trying to figure out how work works. I get a million emails a day from different people in charge of all different things at our headquarters that are saying, oh, this is coming due, and this is coming due, and this is coming due. I'm like, really? My goodness. So, okay, so that'll work there, and I will trim what I need. So let's just glue this down. So that's what's happening on this end. My craft area, if I didn't mention it, because I started to mention it in the first video, that I had to stop when my husband came home for dinner. My craft area is about a third of the size of the one that I had in Buffalo. So yeah. I have boxes just stacked on boxes. I've set it up. I'm in this sort of cockpit area here, and I've got stuff around me. And just like this one little opening that I can walk into this space where I'm crafting. And then I've got things set up. If I'm here, if this was my craft area and I'm in this little thing, you come out this way and then you have to go this way and then you have to go this way to get to, I've got stuff here, stuff here, stuff here. So yeah, it's crazy. It's just crazy. So I'm still trying to unpack boxes. I'm not sure how I'll be coloring paper. I had a beautiful spot near my deep sink and my laundry area. In my old place, I had a big space that I could put a 6-foot table, left it up all the time. Now I don't have that space, so I'm not sure what I'm going to be doing. I have like no space. There's like no space to put a table down here to do the dyeing the paper, coloring the paper. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to, we have a living room, we have a family room, and we have, the family room is kind of where we stay because that's where our birds are. I'm going to not try to do it that way. I'm going to do it this way. If I had put them in the living room the way I had first originally intended, oh, my blade is coming out. My goodness. Get that tight. Nobody would ever see them because we generally just don't go in there. We have a screen porch, and there's a small table out there, and that's where we've been taking our meals. You know, in the winter time, maybe, you know, late fall and winter, it'll be too cold to eat out there. So we don't have an eat-in kitchen like we did in my other house. So we'll be sitting in the dining room. But other than that, that would be about the only time, because of the way the house is set up. There's no need to go in there because you don't pass through there. If you're in there, it's because you're there intentionally. So I didn't want to put the birds in that room. So they're down in the family room. So since we kind of don't use the living room very much, I think I may kind of set up the table in there and hope for the best. All right, so I've got just under 2 inches here. I have like 1 7/8. So we're gonna go, I think, right about here. Let's just check. Yeah, it's pretty close, pretty darn close. So let's go ahead and do the same thing because this was this way. So that way I shouldn't have a crooked line. So that was that. So I'm still kind of trying to figure out how I'm going to function here, and how to put things together and, you know, regroup things, literally regroup things. Hey, that's not bad. Not bad at all. So So now we'll back up. We'll back up a little bit. And like I said, these stories are probably not going to be chronological because so much has passed. You know, so much has gone on, and in these months, and not everything is, you know, stories to be told, but there's just been so much crammed into my head, so much activity in the last, you know, 3-4 months that I probably won't remember things in order anymore. So, but we were getting ready to leave, and our houses, when we leave, are to be inspected to make sure that everything is in order as it should be. Okay. And oh, you know what? Well, let me just, because I do want to do this and get this lace on. I want it to set is what I want it to do, and that's, I'm going to go back. Just want it over. I want some of that. It doesn't really matter if it shows, does it? Yeah, I guess I will. Let's move it up a little bit. And I think we're just going to go ahead and let it go right over the very edge like so. Okay, that's good. So we had, you know, Stanley Steamer had come in and they had done the carpets, and we didn't have a lot of carpet. You know, we had some throw area rug things that were going to be staying, and you know, a carpet in the back room and things like that. So there wasn't a lot of carpet in the house, but they did the furniture, the upholstered furniture, and, you know, stuff like that. I apologize if my head gets in here. Just want to push that up so that I don't see the edge of the card. Now, is that good? Down a little bit here. All right. And my, I don't know, where did it go? Ah, but I have another one. I don't know where it went. I probably knocked it down. So anyway, that was, you know, they had come in and they had done all of that. They had cleaned the vents, you know, and cleaned the furnace, and, you know, got all the dust and whatever was in there out, and, you know, things like that. So the house was literally clean, you know, from the inside the bones to, you know, everything else. And so once that happens, my animals had to be out of the house. So we had brought Gus and the birds to my husband's parents' house. Just trying to level that off already, so that there'd be no dog hair, no feathers, no dander, no anything. And technically, once that happens, we're really not supposed to stay in the house, okay? So we had made arrangements, because we had an apartment in the building where we did our work. I'm still trying to slide this up because it's not even here. I put so much glue on it. All right, well, we're not going to know about that because it's going to go under nothing. It's not going to go under anything. But anyway, we figured, okay, so we'll stay in the apartment for those last few days. This was Thursday that they came, and we were going to stay from Thursday night through Sunday night, and then leave Monday morning to come down here. And so we do that. We pack our bags and get everything ready to go, and the house is all clean. And we were going to come back because there was a few things that would have to be done once everything had settled from Stanley Steamer. You know, if they had blown anything out of the vents or anything like that, that, you know, settled, that got into the air and then settled on the floor or whatever, that I would come back and clean that up, and my husband would, you know, come back and do the weed whacking. And, you know, we were having a lot of rain, so, you know, the grass would grow and it needed to be trimmed. And he had power washed the house already, and he had power wash the sidewalks and, you know, all the walkways around the house and the porch and all the stone and the patio, because it was a concrete patio and all this stuff. So he had done all of these things. And so we pack up when we go to the center, our center, to stay in the apartment for the night. Well, new place, you know, new bed. I had never slept in this apartment before. I've had other people sleeping there, but, you know, when guests come or whatever, but I had not been there. So I had a hard time falling asleep. We got there, oh, I don't know, probably about 10 at night. And, you know, we pretty much got ready to go to bed. And my husband and brother-in-law had no problem falling asleep. I, on the other hand, did. So, okay, so these are, I'm just going to let these set for a minute. And what I'm going to do now is, I'm going to keep talking to you, but I'm just pushing this stuff out of the way because I want to bring my scoreboard up. I'm going to show you how we fold the paper. So I have this scoreboard. My scoreboard goes backwards from everybody else. It's a scoreboard and a cutter. Let me get my, whoops, stuck to my thing there. So it's really very easy. Here is the paper, okay? And what we're gonna look to do is, essentially that's gonna go right in the middle, okay? So what we're gonna do here is we come in, let me just check to make sure I'm doing it in the right direction. Get my ruler here. Okay, so from the side, we're going to go, get my little bone folder out here. From the side, we're going to go 2.5 inches, okay? So we go to 2.5 and we score, okay? And since this is 8.5, we're gonna go 1/2, then to 8, 7 to 6, that's 2.5 inches. So essentially it's 2.5 inches from both sides, okay? So you can do it this way, okay? It would be 2.5 inches right there, okay? So we have 2.5 and 2.5. Then we're gonna go this way, and this is going to be 2 3/8, okay? So we're gonna go 1, 2, and then 3/8 for me is right there. I think I'm in frame, but this is 2 3/8 from the top and the bottom if you're looking at the paper portrait, okay? So 2 3/8, and we just score right there, okay? Now I'm gonna take that, put this away. Just lay this back down here again. Okay, so this is what we have. So this gets folded up, essentially. That's going to get folded down, and we're going to go ahead and do that now just to make sure that it's good and straight. I have my other bone folder here somewhere. Okay, go back a little bit. That wasn't that straight. There we go. So anyway, so I'm laying in bed. Oh gosh, it must have been about 2 o'clock in the morning, I'm guessing, before I finally fell asleep. I'm tossing, I'm turning, I'm, you know, whatever. And then at about 5, I finally fall asleep, and at 5 o'clock in the morning, this most god-awful noise starts to happen. And it is our smoke alarm. It is our fire alarm in the building, which of course is attached to the fire company, okay? And so I'm just going ahead and I'm folding all of these sides in on the score lines and just making them nice and sharp, okay? So we have that. I'm gonna flip that over. And what we're gonna do here, and I don't know, it may not be, you know what, I know what I'll do. Let me just go ahead and, because I have to do this anyway, we're gonna ink all of this, okay? And that way you'll be able to see where the score lines were, and what I'm doing and how I'm placing the the main card on the paper. So anyway, but here's this ungodly noise at like 5 o'clock in the morning. It's our fire alarm. It's horrendous. It's a form of torture. It is so loud and so ear-piercing. And I would think it could literally drive you insane. The problem is, it is against the law, at least in New York State. It is against the law, even though you may know how to shut off the alarm. It is against the law for you to shut off the alarm. A fire person has to come, who, not just any fire person, a specific fire person has to come and flick the switch, okay? So they come. What had happened was, because we were a residential program, we have kitchen staff, kitchen crew, and they went to make the bacon and for that morning, and they turned the ovens on to preheat, and somebody, which happened to have been our kitchen supervisor, the day before had made a pineapple upside down cake, which apparently spilled into the oven and was not cleaned. So they turned the oven on, and the entire place filled up with smoke, like in a heartbeat. So, of course, set off the fire alarms, and here come the fire people. So I've been asleep all of maybe 3 hours. I'm exhausted from doing all this cleaning and all the stuff that we've been doing. I'm positively just exhausted, okay? And so, you know what, I inked all of these sides, but that's okay. I don't usually do that. I don't usually ink where they fold. A lot of people, most people do, but I don't, because I feel like it interrupts the writing. But anyway, so here we have the piece. So what we're going to do now is we're going to glue this down onto that, okay? Now you can see that it's a little bit smaller, just a wee bit, which is fine because we don't want it hanging over the edges, and that's just fine, okay? So what we're going to do is put the glue in here. Now, what I did on the other one is I glued it completely down, okay? I glued it completely to the back card. But what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to make this a pocket as well. I'm going to leave this open. So instead of gluing it down completely, which you can do, as I did on this one, okay, it's glued down completely, I'm just going to make this a pocket. So what I'm going to do here is, instead of gluing on the card, I'm going to glue on the paper because I want to follow these lines, okay? So we're just going to go ahead and go along here and put some glue down. Turn it around. I'm trying to keep my hand out of the glue. So finally, you know, everybody's out of the building. You know, all the guys who are living in the building are out, and the employees are out, and we're out, and there I am in my pajamas and my bathrobe, you know, because I was sleeping or trying to. So the whole place had filled up with smoke. So they come in, they check, they make sure that there is no fires, they turn off the alarm. We go back into our apartment, and I'm going to turn this way just so that I can see what I'm doing here, guys. We go back into our apartment, and there is a swarm. I'm just going to move it over so it's just ever so slightly on the lines there, okay? We go back into the apartment. There's a swarm of termites, thousands of them. So we had never seen a termite in that building at all, okay, ever. We had never seen a termite. There's thousands of termites all over the place, okay? So we get a hold of the exterminator. The exterminator's supposed to come, and he says, yes, I can take care of it. We're figuring the smoke, like, smoked them out. Had no idea that they were even in the building, only in the apartment, didn't show up anywhere else. And so he says the only problem is that you're not going to be able to sleep here for like the next couple of days. So this is Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday night is what we needed. So now we're homeless, okay? We can't go back to our house because we're not allowed to be there. And we can't stay here, okay? All right, so this is what we're going to do now. We're going to fold these in, fold this in, and all I did before was I just simply, I didn't measure anything. I just kind of took it like this and folded it in. That's all I did, just to give myself a little, you know, little wedge to get past the edge of the paper here. So they don't have to be exactly exact. If you want them to be, you can certainly measure them, but they don't have to be exact. And then I'm just going to go ahead and give it another burnish here. Make it good and lying down, as it were. And then all you have to do now is just take this, I might have been off screen there a little bit, and tuck it in like so. Push it all the way in like that, because I want to make sure it's away from the edge here. I think it's away from the edge. It is. And give that a nice burnish. And then you're all tucked in. But now what you have is, let me find something. Well, where's the other one? Here it is. So now what you have is you'll have the card that we're going to put in here, okay? You have the writing space on the back, but now you also have a place in here where you can put another card, where you can put another piece of paper. I'm not going to do that on this video, but you might put like maybe a little, you know, tab or something so that you can pull it out, or just make it just a hair wider than it needs to be, just so that you have a little lip to grab. Or you can just go ahead and tuck it in and just kind of, you know, reach in and pull it out. You can do it that way as well. So let's go ahead and put these guys on now. So they're going to go like this, okay? And I'm going to do that with the art glitter glue. And again, I'm not going to glue the whole thing down, because this makes the little slider guides, I guess, for the card to go in. So yeah, so now we're homeless. So we get on the phone with our headquarters and we tell them, you know, the situation and what's happened, and we get approval to go ahead and get a hotel. Well, we need it for that night, okay? So my husband gets on the phone finally that afternoon, and he's looking around, and he's trying not to get anything too expensive, but he wants, of course, something that would be, you know, reasonable and agreeable to us for the next few nights. And, oh, you know what? I did that wrong. Oh, no, I didn't. Did I? Yes, I did. Okay. I wasn't supposed to glue that side down. So ignore that. You didn't see that. I'm just going to put a little ink on there so it doesn't look so suspicious. I want to glue a little more here because I pulled it up. All right. So he finally gets a hotel. I'm not going to tell you the name of the hotel because I don't want to do that. But just, I would never stay in one again. I've had 2 bad experiences with them. And, you know, I thought the first one, okay, maybe just a fluke. Could have just been the location. I don't think so. So anyway, all right, so we're going to glue this one on here. So this side stays unglued. So, because it's our slider. So anyway, it's now, you know, by the time we're done here, it's now like 9 o'clock at night. We go to this hotel and we're starving, we're tired, we're dirty because we didn't have a chance to shower at the apartment or anything. And of course we couldn't do that at the house. So we, you know, we're looking forward to getting something to eat and showering and getting some sleep. So we go to this hotel and, all right, I'm just going to let that set. And while that's setting, we're going to work on putting our card together now. And that, I do believe, should fit I want to cut this down though. I think it's just a little too thick, too wide. I am going to put it on a piece of card, and I'm going to, I'm looking for a paper that I think I would want to use. So I'm just over here on the side. I'm trying to see what I have already. Ah, my. What's this one? Seem to be bypassing that one. That's good. Okay. You know, let me just go back to the other one, I think. Yeah, we'll go back. We'll just use another one of these. So I'll go ahead and use this one. So anyway, we get this place to eat, and it was okay. It was late. Like I said, we were tired. I'm just going to trim this a little bit, make it a little narrower. So we eat. We had dropped our stuff off in the hotel. We were not happy at first with it, but we're like, all right, this, you know, might not be so bad. We'll make the best of it. So we eat, we go back to the hotel. Now it's about 11 o'clock at night. Okay. And after we were done eating, and, you know, we kind of took our time and figured, all right, we'll go back and, you know, take our showers and go to bed. Well, we get in there and turn on the air conditioner, and it's a unit air conditioner. It's not like a central air or anything. It's one of those in the wall kind of things. And it makes a noise that's just unbelievable. I mean, my husband and I literally kind of had to shout to each other to hear each other talk, okay? So he pushes the chair up against it out of frustration, and it stopped. And he was like, oh, and then all of a sudden it came back, and it came back with a vengeance. Just unbelievable. So in the meantime, I get a phone call from my brother-in-law. He's in his room, and he says, no, that's different. He says, the smoke alarm is going off, and I can't make it stop. So I told him, I said, call the front desk. He said, I did. Nobody's answering. And I'm like, well, go to the front desk and tell them. So it took forever for them to finally, you know, send somebody over. I'm just sort of measuring this so that I have an idea of how wide I want to make the card to put this on. So he goes to the front desk and he tells them, you know, what's going on, what's happening. And they're like, okay, we'll send somebody up. Well, it took them like 20 minutes. Okay, so now we're heading for like midnight, okay? It took them like 20 minutes to get there. And I just want to make sure of this. And yeah, I want to make sure I'm inside the cover, but it doesn't have to be huge. Want plenty of space. So they're working on it. Now, you know, these things are hardwired into the wall. So I don't know how replacing the unit itself is going to help, you know, like replacing a battery or whatever it was they thought they were going to do. I have no clue. I cut off the part that I wanted. So anyway, they're working on this. The air conditioner is going like crazy. And I told my husband, I said, I have not slept. I said, I just cannot stay here. So he's like, that's it. He said, we're going home. He said, we're going to go back home. Now, when we leave our houses, we have to have all fresh linens, all fresh towels, all fresh bedding, all this stuff, and the beds have to be made and the bathrooms have to be set up for the next person coming in who's following us. So all they really have to do is unpack their personal items. They're tired. If they don't even want to unpack their personal items, they can just climb into bed, pull out a pair of pajamas and just climb into bed, because all the beds are made, okay? And there's towels in the bathroom. If they, you know, everything is set as if they just walked in their home. So I had made all the beds, and now we have to go home and sleep there. So it's after midnight, and we go back to the house, and I told them, I told my husband and my brother-in-law, I said, just sit on the kitchen chairs, because they were wooden chairs with, you know, vinyl seating. You know, it looks like leather. I'm sure it wasn't leather, but, you know, it looks like it. And I said, just sit on the kitchen chairs. Don't touch anything. I said, I'm going to strip all the beds and remake them. Now, all of our linen was already clean. So I put all of our clean linen back on the beds. The clean that was supposed to come with us here. I put all that back on the beds. And, which way is this going? Like this, okay. And, you know, put all the other stuff, I stacked it up, and so we stayed in the house, even though we weren't really supposed to. And then, of course, when we left on Monday, I had to come back. You know, we left on Monday. We were supposed to leave in the morning, but of course I had to make all the beds. I had to take off all, you know, our linen and then put all the clean linen back on all the beds again. And it was just, I had to clean the shower again. I had to do all this stuff again. So it was just nuts. It was absolutely nuts. And like I said, because of all that, we get down here really, really late. I'm trying to see if I'm hoping I've got this lined up in here. Hey, not bad. So we got down here at midnight, and we were just exhausted. We were just so tired. And so we climb into the beds. The beds are all made here. We climb into the beds. I didn't have time to change and put my own stuff on. I didn't have the energy to. And I'm laying in the bed. Now my husband is out, and my brother-in-law is out. And, of course, we don't have our animals because they're still up in Syracuse with my in-laws. And so I'm laying in bed, and is this okay? Yeah. I'm laying in the bed, and I'm tossing and turning, and I'm feeling kind of sticky and clammy. And I was like, okay, I know I didn't have a shower, you know, since the morning. And it had been a long day and stuff, and you know, you drive 5 hours and all this kind of stuff, and you figure, okay, just want to make sure I'm still recording here. And but I was just too tired. I was too tired to shower. So I get into bed and I'm tossing and turning, and I just cannot sleep. And I'm thinking, well, okay, maybe you're just overtired, and you know, all this kind of stuff. And then all of a sudden, it occurred to me, I cannot sleep. I have mattress pads on my bed, and they're the tufted, thick mattress pads. They're always on all of my beds. And I cannot sleep on anything that has a plastic lining to it, okay? It makes me, I can't sleep. It makes me feel clammy and sweaty, and I can't fall asleep because, you know, I'm like the princess and the pea. You know, everything has to be perfect for me to, you know, fall asleep. It's all got to be just right. So I got to trim this down, no matter how much I measure. So I get up, and sure enough, I peel back the sheets and I check the mattress pad, and it has plastic in it. So now I'm back again. It's about 1:30 in the morning, and I am up stripping the bed. Now I have to go find one of my mattress pads, okay? We didn't bring those in. So I had to go back out to the truck and find the bedding that we needed. So here I am at 1:30 in the morning in the driveway, you know, going through the truck as quietly as I can, not to disturb our new neighbors, because, you know, we don't want them to start disliking us right away. And yeah, so I find a mattress cover and I go back inside. I remake the bed with my sheets, my mattress cover, and I fell right to sleep. But now, of course, it's, 2:15 in the morning, and I am just, oh, it's just crazy. Just crazy. So that was the wonderful adventures of us moving, the last like 5 days of us moving. So it was really crazy. So those were it wasn't funny at the time, kind of, but it was one of those, you need to laugh. If you don't laugh, you'll cry kind of things. And it's funny now, but I'll tell you, when you were so exhausted, it was insane. It was just nuts. So that brings me probably up to par. If I think of anything else, I will let you know about that. But that sort of brings me up to par with, where we are for the most part with what's been going on. So, and then like I said, we get here and find out that the painting's not done and this is not straight. I'm going to do it from what side? I think this side. Yeah. No, you know what? I'm going to do it from this side. So let's straighten this one out. This was actually a crooked picture on the card. It was like torn looking and stuff. So it was like a little raggy. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to do it from here. So let's get my ruler, and I'm going to get this over here. Try to center that as much as possible on the card where I would like it, because I'm going to use the bottom from side to side as my guide. And then I'm just going to go ahead, just trying to leave the same space top and bottom here. I think I'm pretty close. And I'll draw a line. And then I'm just going to come on over here and trim that down. So this is my process, guys. You know me. Nothing is exact. One of these days, I'm going to be like some of these really organized crafting ladies who do like a prototype beforehand and stuff. It's like, I'm lucky I get the time to do the originals, let alone do prototypes. So, but anyway, so yeah, so that was that. So, but it's been fun. It's beautiful here. It is absolutely beautiful. This is to me, it's a small town. They call their town a city, but it's like under 20,000 people. So to me, that's a small town, especially with some of the places I have lived. And, upwards of 100,000 or more in these cities. And the culture is good, and oddly enough, and I haven't been there yet, but they have a symphony here. We haven't even been. You know what they have here? We haven't been there yet. They have a drive-in theater. I'm like, that is so awesome. It's easier for me to flip this around than that around, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, when we got here, they were playing the Elvis movie, but we were just so busy. We just didn't have the time. Now, of course, it's probably closed for the season, or will be closed for the season if it isn't closed already. So I'll probably have to wait till the spring to go. But in the spring, I may have more time. So, it'll be a little more settled, I would think. I still don't even have pictures up on the walls, and honestly. But anyway, so that is that saga. All right, so we're just going to leave that like that. And that is now going to go in here, but I'm going to let that set. I'm going to put that to the side. Let's come back to this guy, and we'll finish this one off. So anyway, that is, oops, that goes, I picked it up with the other thing. So yeah, so that's, I'm a little stuck on the glue there, but that's okay. I'm going to put these guys away. Try to close the drawer real easy. Okay, so what I have here is I have, this is the only wax seal, I'm trying to find where I shoved it to, that I can find. It's a little bird on a branch, which works for this, but I don't know where my other ones are. Imagine that. So what I have here is I have this ribbon. I did this wax seal, and I have some beads. And I may end up putting some flowers on here. I felt I didn't have what I wanted. So this is, I'm gonna just trim this one down. I'm gonna do it with this because these are a little more heavy duty. Okay, that's good. And then I'm gonna trim this part off. Okay. I gotta get under this other lace. Let me get back here where you can see me. Trim that one off. And up here at the top, trim that part off. Very good, very good. Okay. And then this card goes in here, like so. So that slides in. A little crooked, I think. There we go. All right. And then this one, of course, is going to go in at the back. You could see the little dove there in the window, like so. And then we're going to go ahead and what I did the last time when I did this one is I just grouped all the ribbon together, and then I poured the wax onto the ribbon, which is why I kind of got this runoff-y thing, which there's nothing I can do about it. So, so this time I went ahead and I just did them first. I'm going to do something similar here, and this one, I didn't dye this one. I've been getting some ribbons lately from some other places. So I like it because it's kind of like variegated a little bit. I don't know how well you can see that, but I'm going to go ahead and kind of do the same idea here that I did over there. 1, 2, 3 loops, I think. I did more on that one, but that was a thinner. It was this, and you can see this is folded. So it's just kind of how it, yeah, it's folded over, but it looks thin. So we're just going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm thinking, I'm not sure, maybe I'll put pearls down the side here and just put that up there on there. I think I'm going to do one more loop like that. I'm wondering how I want to do this. I have absolutely no idea, guys, how long this is. Let me see. Oh my gosh, it's like an hour and 15 minutes. Okay. Let me try to go ahead and do this somehow. And I think what I may be able to do, I'm just going in here, my drawer again, and I'm going to pull out just a couple of rubber bands because I want to try to do this as quickly as I can. Okay, that's going to go in here. Let's try to get that under the piece here. I'll lift it up with my bone folder. I think that'll make it a little easier because this one's a little more snug because of how I did it. So that goes in there like that. I'm going to leave this one to the side for a second. I am going to find the ribbon here. There should be an end. There we go. And we're going to go ahead and do the loops with this as well. Now this I don't have beads with it, though I probably could. I'm trying to do them similar but different, if that makes sense. So I'm just going to go ahead and, am I on this? Wasn't on it. So there was a plus in, you know what? I think I'm liking the idea of having this come up the corner like that. I think I like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to try tying this in the middle and gluing it down. And then I'm just going to cut away the rubber band, I think. Just want a little less at the top. So I'll put that there. Kind of like that. I don't think I need the rubber band, to tell you the truth. So let's get that off. This is a really long video. All right. So we're going to go ahead, put a bunch of glue down here. This is going to be covered by the seal. So I want to make sure I have the right seal, though. I don't want to be taking the one for the, they're very similar, but I mixed colors on the other one. So I just want to do that, kind of position it that way. And where is the seal? Aha, for this one. There. That is the seal that I have for this. And I kind of like that, and like that. It's a little different. Okay. I'm going to have to go back and seal that again and do that a little bit better later, because this is going to take a lot. What I probably should do is hot glue it. I have no clue where my hot glue gun is. I may have to go back and hot glue it anyway. Right now I'm just kind of wrapping it around. The seal is kind of pliable, so I have a bigger one here. So I'll try to hook it that way. And then I should have another one. Yep, and we'll do that one. So this way the seal won't sit flat, but it'll kind of curl around the ribbon, but I think it'll be okay. So basically, get that there, and we're gonna let that sit and dry. So I'm gonna cut this off now, because I think it's been long enough. And like I said, I'll finish this one up, and I will be posting pictures of the finished ones, probably for the thumbnail of the video. And yeah, and I'll put them up on Facebook as well. So that's it for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a long one, and I apologize. It is good to be back, and hopefully you'll be seeing me a whole lot more in the future. In the meantime, stay blessed, stay safe, be happy, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye for now.